One, two, three. We're gonna welcome everybody to the Mom and Dad Talks, where our favorite two people are Mom and Dad. Say hello to everybody, Mom and Dad.
Hello, hello.
Okay, that's better. And
Buenos dias. Oh, right.
love that, love that, love it. And we have our good friend Robin Thrasher. Robin, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about y'all?
Doing great, doing great. Well, Robin, we're gonna bring Robin periodically on our show here. Robin, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, and some of the things you do.
Okay, so I am a mom of two and
Oh,
also a mother to a bonus son. And I am a grandma to two fur kittens and my own dog, a Maltipoo. So by day, I'm a project manager for a managed care organization, and I'm a trained chef. I am also a singer.
There we go. Yeah, she
Yeah,
sings very
yeah.
well, by the way, everybody. So
Mhm.
bring her to your church, okay? We'll try to get her information. Hopefully, ask her how you can get in touch with her to cook and sing, and if you need some project management in your life.
There you go.
Well, tonight we're going to talk about how do you reach your goals. How do you hit your goals and how you do it. So, who wants to start first? Mom, do you want to start first?
Well, the goal that I had, I'm going to say that in 2022, I had a heart attack. I realized that I know my body that well, and I verified it, went to the hospital, told the doctors and nurses there at the emergency room, I'm having a heart attack. They verified it. They said, we can't help you here. We don't have the facility, so we'll put you in an ambulance and send you to the next city. And so they did that. To make a long story short, the doctor over there, the heart doctor, told me, he says, yes, it was a heart attack, but he said we don't have to do open heart surgery, stent, or pacemaker. We can correct it with medication, and he put me on medication, and that was in 2022. And I want you to know that yesterday, as late as yesterday, they had me come in and take a test to test my heart to see what condition it is in, to see if I have to stay on medication or anything. They called me this morning and said, everything is clear in your heart. So you can get all the doctor says you don't have to take the medication that he puts you on anymore. So I say all that to say this, that the goal that I had was to stay on the medication to see how it was going to work out. And it panned out perfectly for me.
Well, that's great, Mom. You stayed on it. You changed your diet up, and you stay focused on it to get there. Anybody else want to tell their methodology of how they were able to reach their goals to help our audience out? Okay, everybody don't speak at once. I guess I'm going to have to. Robin, we'll hit you.
I'll go ahead.
Yes.
So, I mentioned I'm a project manager, so I approach everything like a project. When I realize I have a goal to achieve, I kind of plan and I look at where do I want to end up, and then I start brainstorming all the steps that I need to do, and I figure out how long should it take me, because everything we do in life, I tell people it's a short project. Whether you realize it, from the time you get up in the morning, it's a short project that you're going to go to work and you're going to come home. And when you achieve that, that's a project is done. So that's how I approach everything, and do it in chunks, so it makes it a little easier, and, set short goals in between the larger goal, because I find that working towards a larger goal, when you hit those little milestones, and you can cheer about it, it makes it, you get yourself a little motivation to keep going. And so that seems to work for me. And that's how I do things.
No, that's fantastic. Well, Dad, I guess you're bringing up the caboose tonight, or part of the caboose.
I'm at the
How
end
do
of the
you reach your
train.
goal? Yeah. Yes. How do you reach your goals, Dad?
Well, first of all, the way I reach my goals is I have to stay focused on the goal that I'm reaching for. I can't do too many goals at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how people get in trouble, is because they become diverse and they want to do this and do that. And when you do too many goals, you lose sight on the goal that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I have to get on my knees and pray about what I want to do. Pray, pray, pray.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I go to it. I go to it.
Mm-hmm.
And through a process, I have to find out what works, what doesn't work, and just keep going and going and going and not stopping. because I've run across too many people that had a goal and they stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And when they stopped, they didn't learn anything.
Mm.
They didn't learn anything. So stay focused on your goal, because I remember that my first goal that I ever had was I was 15 years old. Uh, at the time, my goal was to join the Army, become an officer in the Army.
Mm.
And then I had a teacher, Mr. Lusby,
Mm-hmm.
my first black teacher in
Mm-hmm.
Cassopolis, first teacher I ever had. And he was a mathematics teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden it just dawned on me, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. And I did everything. I was mad at first because
Mm-hmm.
at the time they separated us. We had to take a test in the eighth grade,
Mm-hmm.
and you had a general studies, you had college prep studies,
Mm-hmm.
and you had a, how do you say it, people that weren't successful in school. And I was mad when I took the test because my counselor said, "Well, you qualify for the upper class, for algebra and trig and all that,
Advanced.
Mm-hmm.
advanced mathematics." And I went into class and I discovered all my friends were not there.
Mm.
And I went home and told my Dad, I don't want to be in this class. Well, that didn't go too far. That didn't go too far.
Thank God.
That didn't go too far. So I hung in there, and my dad was behind me, pushing me because I have to push sometimes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
Sometimes.
yeah, and
Well,
and I was
the time.
successful. I was very successful in achieving the goal that I wanted.
So Hantie, thank you, Dad, for sharing that lovely story. Hantie, how do you reach your goals? What's your method of reaching goals?
I'm not very successful with that. I probably wouldn't be. Um, I'll come back to what I was going to say,
Mhm.
but I am. I- I'm a procrastinator about a whole lot of things. But I had a wellness visit today. That's when the nurse comes to your house
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and does a check. This is from United Healthcare. And, one of the things that she asks you to make
Mhm.
is a clock.
Mhm.
She draws the circle and you have to make a clock.
Mhm.
And she says, I want you to put the hands on 10 minutes to 11.
Mhm.
And she also gave me the 3 words that she wanted me to remember.
Right.
Um, Apple, piano, and something else. Well, they've been giving me the same words to remember for the last 8 or 9 years. So that wasn't hard. But when it came to the clock,
Mhm.
she said, now I found out a whole lot about you with the clock.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And I put all the numbers inside the clock. She said, you don't have to put all the numbers inside the clock. But I found out from that exercise, she
Mhm.
said that you are an achiever.
Mhm.
Mm. Okay.
And that surprised me. I mean, I was sitting down, but if I had been standing up, I probably would have fallen down. Because she said people that have an OCD
Mhm.
um, do what you did.
Mhm.
Put all the numbers in there. Across from the 9 had to be across from the 3, and the 12 had to be across from the 6, and all of that. And I said, "Oh, really?" And I'd never thought of myself as an achiever.
Mhm.
You have to set goals when you are an achiever. And when I said that I'm a procrastinator,
Mhm.
I said to myself, and I don't say that out loud. I don't. It's
Mhm.
not something to brag about.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, I was, one reason why I was late was I was looking for some trash bags that I know that I have in this
Mhm.
house somewhere, but I
Mhm.
couldn't find them. And I said, oh my goodness, it's time for mommy daddy talks. and having a trash bag in the waste basket. I guess those are my goals. That's what I achieve.
Well, just remember the importance, right? It's not that you're procrastinating, that some things are just more important than others.
Mhm.
You know, you show up time for work. Why? Because it's important. So, you know, just understand this how you wired, right? And so you just have to come to grips with it. I just don't deem those things as important. Not saying that they're not important. It's just in the core of whatever it is, it just goes with it. You know, I think one of the things, you know, before we leave here, you know, with our audience here, and thank you. And everybody's been successful. Hence, you're successful. If you got your two kids, they graduated from college, you know, a lot of people, and that was your goal. So, you know,
It was.
without a vision, you perish. You
Right.
got to visualize what you want to do, and God can give that to you, right? If you pray for it and ask for it, right? Just don't
Right.
do it aimlessly. Lord, give me a vision. And once He does give you a vision, then you work every day to get towards it. Sometimes it's bigger than you. Sometimes you don't even understand what it is. But if you don't go ahead and try to work towards that, and it's going to be an experience. Failure is real, but when you're with God, it's not a failure, it's a learning lesson. It's a growth session.
Right.
That's
That is
right.
so
So I
true.
want to tell you
Very,
guys,
very good.
yeah, take those moments, take
Mhm.
those risks, find out more about yourself because God's trying to expose you. You know what I'm saying? And then be consistent every day. Be consistent. Set up a
Oh,
time that you want to do for that goal so you're consistent. Yes, Mom.
Yeah.
can I say something real quickly? I
Yes.
just turned 80 on Monday.
No, you didn't, Mom.
Yes,
Wow.
I did. And in the store, and I can't go to the store, the grocery store, because I get stopped all the time. People are stopped. I know where you used to. I know where you worked and such. So I don't. To this week, I have been praising everybody that stopped to tell them how old I am,
Mm-hmm.
and they cannot believe it. And
Mm-hmm.
I tell them there's three things that I have to do on a continuing, consistent basis:
Mhm.
diet, rest, and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and that's my goal, to slow down my aging process. And I intend to do that for a long, long time. So when we set goals to do that and be consistent at it. And you are a perfect example, Todd, of being consistent.
Mhm.
Well, he's just like you.
Well, he had me, but I had to learn it, and
I had something to do with it, didn't I?
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
I
Lost control of the
He,
program, everybody.
Albert didn't teach Todd to be consistent. I did. Now
you
I
know,
did.
yeah, yeah. Someone said something about OCD. I have a neighbor that is extremely OCD
Mm-hmm.
because it was
On
about a week
what?
ago. A week ago, you know, I do woodworking, and I was in my garage working. I heard this knock on the door. I thought it was Myrna. He came in and he said, "Dell, I just want to tell you, your compressor's on." My compressor's on. How did he know? His house is maybe about what? Uh, 25, 30 feet away from me.
Mm.
And I looked around, and said, "Oh, really? Where? Well, I don't hear it now, but your compressor's on." I said, "What in the world?" I said, "Oh, okay, thank you."
Well, Robin will probably tell you, being a project manager and assistant in a project manager position, especially in this day and age, sometimes people have an obsession with you and your
Obsession.
success.
Yeah.
So they
Yes.
want to pick at you. They want to always try you and test you. And
I
it's just like it's a form of control. It's a form of them putting you down so they can feel better about themselves. Like, I
Mhm.
put them in their place today, and they
Yeah.
make little snide remarks. And
Well, I feel with my neighbor though,
mhm,
it's a matter of there are certain things that he gets focused on, and
mhm,
he can't help himself. Like he was focused on my compressor. It wasn't running.
mhm,
Mhm.
It wasn't running, and he didn't know what to say. Before that, he said, "Dell, I was looking at your house, and there's a shingle missing."
mhm.
I said, "Oh, really? Where? Where?" It's up there.
But Dad, have you noticed he only talks to you about that?
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying is that, you know, usually people who are OCD, whatever, to everybody, they just annoy
Yeah,
everybody. Oh, here's
Yeah.
such and such, right? They're just consistent. And some
yeah.
people have an obsession with certain people because of their success and they want to put them down the side.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying,
Mhm.
whatever that is. But anybody got any last thoughts? After I lost the whole conversation here, but it's been a great one. Anybody want to have any last statements before we close it up for our audience tonight or today?
Thing I can say is be consistent in whatever your goal is. Stay on it, line it up, continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I tell people you gonna say something, Robin?
Yeah, I was going to say, and also when you're achieving your goals, take a moment to reflect once you hit that goal, because in project management, we have lessons learned so that we can do something better the next time or make improvements, and take note of your weaknesses to make them strengths the next time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, folks,
Very good.
Very good.
We're gonna end on that one tonight, folks. So next time we're gonna see your mom and dad talk.